Hey, here we go. Good evening, Vietnam. Live from LZ Bunker. This is Veterans Live Show. I'm your host, Ronny Ymbras. I served with the 101st Airborne Division in Vietnam from December 67 to December 68. On this episode of Veterans Live Show, we'll be talking NAM with our favorite Dustoff pilot, Phil Marshall, and our top-end 16 machine gunner, John Fratangelo. Okay, we'll be discussing the questions and answers that were posted in the Vietnam Veterans Photo Club on Facebook. Tonight is actually the last show from LZ Bunker. We're moving locations. We pushed the front forward, so we want to get into the action. So we got to move up our LZ. We're not quite sure, so maybe you guys want to drop some names like LZ Foxhole, LZ Grenade, LZ whatever, you know. Okay, so let's get right to it. I'm going to put a question on the screen, and Phil and John will discuss it. Then we'll see how our audience answers the questions and discuss what they have to say. Go ahead, Matt. Take it away. How young were you when you arrived in Vietnam? Okay. Nice question.
Go ahead, John. You'll go first.
Okay. Yeah, I was 19.
Me too. 19.
Yeah, I was 21. I had 2 years of college, and what I've come to find out is that most of the warrant officer helicopter pilots in Vietnam were either high school graduates that went right to flight school or college dropouts. I was one of those college dropouts.
Okay.
Wow. So when I became 20, guys were still coming in at 19, and I was older than the pilots?
Yeah. You think about it. You graduate high school at 18. A year later, you graduate basic training and flight school. You're 19, and you're flying helicopters in Vietnam.
Wow, that's crazy. Good for them.
Hey, Phil, I was a college dropout too. I sat in the auditorium ready to fill out papers to go to college, Bronx community. And I said, this isn't for me, man. I just took off.
Yeah.
I was a dropout before I even started.
Good for you.
I thought college was for me, but I was too concerned about where the parties were, not concerned about where the library was. I don't think I ever did go to the library.
Oh, a bunch of wise guys here. Very smart. Not wise, not smart, wise. Okay.
Yeah.
So next question. What's here? Robert Pape, maybe. 19. First trip, second trip, 21. Wow. So you went 19 to 20, and then 21 to 22. What did you do between that 1 year, Robert? Okay, Bobby.
He was probably training other guys to go to Vietnam.
There you go. You're right. Bobby Dien Don. 19, but he did a tour of Korea before Vietnam.
Wow.
Good for you.
I made a trip when I was 19 and made another one when I was 20, when I brought my cousin back home, but I had to go back again.
I remember that. Yeah, you talked about that before. It's sad. Okay, Lloyd Summers. First trip, I was 22. Second trip, he thinks he was 27.
Wow.
Didn't pay too much attention to it. I just wanted to get through. Got lucky and have just had my 81st birthday. Well, God bless you, brother.
God bless.
Yeah.
Good job, Lloyd.
You got it, Lloyd. Thank you. Okay, Buddy Copening, nearly 19 and ready to roll. Yeah, full of piss and vinegar, right? There you go.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. I got a letter here, actually. It says from the 80s, I was in the 82nd, and I wanted to go to the 173rd, and I wrote the commander, and I said I want to. It says, "Don't worry, specialist. You will be going to Vietnam pretty soon. So don't worry about it. We got you lined up." It was like I wanted to go with the 173rd. I was in the 82nd back home. 101st had a brigade over there, so it was like. But then, sure enough, 4 or 5 months later, I got shipped to Campbell, and we went over in December. So, okay, here we go. When in combat, was there a better sound than that of a Huey? Oh, this is a tough one between you two guys.
Yeah, John, go ahead, dude.
I tell you what was a better sound. The rockets coming in from the jets. That was a bolt of lightning from heaven, man.
Well, I could say there was 3 things: the Huey blades, the M60, and the jets.
Excuse me.
Yeah, we should talk sounds about Vietnam. My gosh.
Yeah.
Step and a half. There was some crap, some animals in the woods too. Yeah, they make a noise. All right, what do you got here? Darryl Mills. The sound was better than good. It was great.
Yeah, we call it the sound of hope now.
There you go, man.
I try to explain to people that you're out of beans or bullets, or you're bleeding or out of water, and you hear those blades coming, your day's going to get just a little bit better.
Oh, yeah. God bless them pilots, man.
True,
Oh,
true.
Yeah.
You're one of them. You're one of them.
We knew you guys were depending on us. That's why we did some of the 19, 20, 20-year-old, 21-year-old stuff that we did.
Right.
Like giving a kid a new Corvette, he's going to find out what it can do. And but again, we knew you guys were dependent on us. That's why we took a lot of the chances we did.
Yeah, it's just amazing the amount of stuff that they brought in. Reinforcements, replacements, medevac, food, water, ammo, mail. Also, those care packages once in a while, right?
Yeah, once in a while we could do that. Yeah.
Anything else that I forgot there?
A change of uniforms.
Oh yeah, dry socks.
Yeah.
Dry socks. Then we put them on, and they make you walk through the freaking rice paddy half hour later anyway. Yeah.
What a place.
That, thanks.
Yeah.
Okay. There, Michael Campbell. That same sound today causes chills.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we've got our restored Hueys, and we're out there making some noise with them. That's for sure.
Okay, Phil. Don't forget at the end of the show, Phil's got a show in Indiana coming up in a couple of weeks, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll talk about that later. Thank you.
Yeah, please do.
No problem. Robert Hughes, no sound sweeter to a Marine's ear. Yeah. Oh, the Marines use helicopters?
Well, yeah, the 46s, the twin rotor. They had a few Hueys, but mostly they had the 46s late in the war, and the 34 Choctaws early in the war.
See, I was only teasing, but like we got an education on the helicopter field over here. It's great. All right, Billy Priest. Hueys. What's a Huey? Hell, we rode in battle in the old UH-34D.
Yeah, that's the Choctaw.
The Corps were a little slow in replacing their choppers, 65, 66, and 67. Well, good for you, Billy. Thank you. Okay, what do you got next? Dennis Plank. It depends if you're going on a CA or going back to the rear. That's a combat assault. So it depends if you're going to. Well, I guess, combat assaults are good if you got to carry out the mission, right? So there you go. Back to the rear. You never know. There was no rear in Vietnam, was there?
No.
I didn't think so. Next, really, think about it, right? It's not like the lines of battle were drawn.
That's right.
Okay, sound off. Did you ever make it out to Saigon? And what was your reason to be there?
You want
Go ahead, John.
Okay. The only time I went to Saigon is when I was chosen to be an escort for my cousin to bring him home. I had to pass through Saigon to get the flight out of Nam. That was my only experience. Otherwise, it was just jungle.
Yeah, and I never went there. We were my unit was as far north as you could get. We were the northernmost Dustoff unit. I never went to town. Did not want to go to town. Yeah. I never left the base except flying the aircraft, and that was fine with me.
Yes, I agree with you there. 100%.
Yeah. I was there. I supported the civilians when it was needed. We risked the aircraft and the crew when the civilians needed our help, but that was as far as it went for me. I had no need to go visit them in town, shall we say?
Well, yeah, towns. I had two towns. One in town up in I-Corps. These little towns, you go into the place and you'd get a drink or whatever at the bar and the girls and to have a downtime. I was stationed outside when I got out of the hospital the second time. They made me CQ at Division Headquarters rear in Benoit. Benoit was about 20, 25 miles east, I believe, of Cu Chi was west of Saigon. So every once in a while, I'd have to go down, take the Jeep, and go down to Tan Son Nhut or to the embassy or to wherever and pick up a colonel, a general, a bigwig civilian, and bring him back to. So I spent at the end a certain amount of time in Saigon, but it was only like daily. It was never overnight. So I always tried to meet the plane early and stop around and see the place.
I never like to go into bars. To this day, I don't like it. I never did like it.
Right.
But this is what when I mentioned one thing I mentioned in the book is that one day I was sparring with a good friend of mine, my ammo bearer. He was a guy from Philly. He was the Golden Glove champion at the time, right? And
Wow.
we spar when we were back in our base camp. We go out with the gloves, and he'd show me a few pointers, this and that. So one day, the rest of the platoon, the recon platoon, went to the town in the bar, right? So there's one guy from Charlie coming didn't like our Sergeant Santos, okay, our platoon leader, right? So they go into town, they get into a fight, and it ended up being a bar brawl, right? So they come back, and Santos had a little black eye, puffy eye, it was no big deal. But I said, look at this. I said, here we are fighting a common enemy, and we come back to our base camp, and we fight each other. And I said, how screwed up is the human being, man? I'm telling you.
Well, I can tell you why that happens, though. But
Man.
You still loved each other at the end of the day.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
There you go. Right.
Well,
all right. What do we got next? Jimmy Cancelero coming back from a 3-day R&R in Vung Tau. Nice place. 2 of my hometown buddies. Yeah. Oh, that's nice. It was our 4th day on a 7-day pass. We were told Saigon was off limits to us because we weren't stationed there. We were also told that if we wavered from our trip, we would see more. We would see more. Okay.
Which one's Seymour?
I don't know. But off limits, huh? I never heard that Saigon was off limits. Well, I had different kind of operations.
Yeah. I'm lost on that one.
I hear you. Did you ever make it out to Saigon? Okay, Saigon, never been there. My AO was the DMZ, 6669 Marine Grunt. Thank you, Robert Mace. Appreciate that service. Thank you. Semper Fi, brother. Ian Johnson, on my way back from leave in Australia, met up with 2 Yanks, had a great night. Oh, okay. I got you. Yeah, Australia was nice. I went there and went to Singapore too. And a lot of the guys from Australia went to Singapore on their R&Rs because it's like one of their resort areas that's quite obviously exotic. That's not Australia. In Southeast Asia, that was, easy to go to before the war, that kind of thing. Well, Ronald Height, resupply for our company beer and other stuff, 173rd, quite a few times, and to take a few things from the docks, LOL. Let me get this.
Resupply, 5-finger discounts. 5-finger discounts. Yeah.
For our company beer and other, quite a few times. I got you. Okay. Hey, airborne, buddy. Thank you for the 173rd. Next. Okay, Tim Carney was at MacV Repo Depot. A guy on his 3rd tour, and I snuck out on an Arvin truck. It was meant a wild night there. Got to ride back with an MP. Man, thank God for the what do they call that when something expires?
Your common sense.
Yeah, but no, I agree with that. But there's a certain amount of limits, statute of limitations.
Oh yeah.
Too bad you gotta be lucky they can't get you out there now and still arrest you. Okay, Clint Karen Sukcha. I took a GI prisoner down to LBJ. Was in Saigon for a week. The most wildest, craziest, and dangerous place I've seen in my life. Oh, so you must have been an MP, and he took a GI, an Army prisoner. Got it, a criminal like, down to LBJ. He was in Saigon for a week. This is the most deciphering I've ever done in my life. The most wildest, craziest day. Yeah, Saigon, you had to watch out, man. Let me tell you, they had those Lambros, and they had those little Lambrettas, and he had those little gas-operated cyclos, and it was crazy. No traffic lights, just go where you wanted to go, and you had to watch out. You had to watch your back, man.
Mm-hmm.
Sound off. Describe this monsoon season in just 5 words or less.
Wet.
Yeah, I'll give you the other 2 words.
Wet and cold.
We had 2 30-gallon trash cans to do our laundry in, one to wash and one to rinse. Okay. And I finished my laundry just before the monsoons hit. And so I emptied the buckets and then just set them up, next to the hooch. 3 days later, those buckets were full.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yep. Trash cans, whatever. Those 30-gallon trash cans were full.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Right. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm not talking the runoff off the roof of the hooch. They were out in the open.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's nuts.
Yeah. It was rough, man. Especially when you you get your poncho out and you think you're wrapped up in it, and you move in the middle of the night, and that water runs down your
Right
neck.
down your neck. Yep.
Oh my gosh! All right, next question. Wring out your clothes and wear again. Very good,
Yeah.
Walter Jones. Very good.
Yeah.
Appreciate that, Walter. Thank you. Guy W. Hackney, sweating inside your poncho. Bummer.
Yeah.
Yeah, right? Yeah, it was still a little warm. Never having dry socks. Amen to that, man.
Yep.
Only dry socks I had was over my shoulder with my sea ration cans in it, tied in there. But they stretched. You couldn't wear them after a
Yeah,
while.
that's right. That's right.
All right, what you got next? Gary Godley. Wet, squishy, rotted, stanky socks. Amen. Jungle rat. Yeah, right? That's what they called it?
Yeah.
Walking around in a bathtub. I like that. There you go. Yeah, we didn't see the sun. It didn't rain every day, but I kept a diary. I actually have my diary right here. Let's show you this baby. Where is my camera? There it is. Let's go something back to March 29th. Let me see it. No, there we go. That was a bad day. That was a bad friendly fire incident. So I won't talk about that now. Yeah, rain, wet, rain. See this? And look at the. Where the hell is it? Here's my camera. There you go. You see how it bled? All the ink? Yeah.
Yeah.
And I kept it in a plastic bag too. He was really trying to not to do that. Yeah, here we go. 7 weeks it was. No, 6 weeks, 42 days.
Yeah.
That it didn't rain every day. Sometimes it was just foggy, low-hanging clouds, and or just a little drizzle. But it rained most of the time. Yeah. Next question. Mud from the red clay. You remember red clay? I don't remember red clay.
Laterite. It's called laterite.
Caisson that very red clay.
Okay, yeah.
It was
Okay.
laterite. Actually, we had to guard my platoon had to guard a mountain art village. It was laterite. For some, I don't even know why we had to guard it, but the funny thing about it, Papa San was coming around selling us Coca-Cola for 50 piastres. Ice cold Coca-Cola.
There you go. Ice cold too.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Joe Mack, for that. Okay, sound off. Did you have a Zippo? And as we recall, many brothers had them, and many had them inscribed. What did yours say? Okay, Zippo boys, let's get them. What do you got?
School me what a Zippo is.
Cigarette lighter. A
Oh,
lighter.
I don't smoke, so
No, back then though. Yeah, there you go. Hey, perfect.
Okay.
Look at that. Put that one back up.
Hold on a minute.
What did that mean? 73rd Sac Slar, Jonathan, Chip Boyd there. Gary West, mine was described. Yea, through I walk, yeah. Yea, I walk through the valley of death. I fear no evil because I am the evilest son of a bitch in the valley.
All right.
I seen that. Okay, next. My nickname was Zippo the Great. Very good, Martis. Martis Barton. Excellent. Thank you. Okay. Chip Boyd. There's mine. Thank you, Chip. Yeah, what is that 73rd Sac? Looks like what is that? It looks like a warthog, right?
Well, SAC, I can't see the SAC was Strategic Air Command, but that's not. I can't see the lighter well enough. Yeah,
no, it looks like a warthog, but they didn't have them back then, did they? They had A-10.
Not in Vietnam.
What do we have over there? We had some kind of crazy gun or machine.
Yeah, well, we had A1E Sandys and
okay.
Yeah.
There you go. Good to have a pilot.
Of course, that was propeller driven, but
there you go.
Yeah.
Look, we got a machine gunner, we got a pilot, and we got an infantry guy in the middle who did some clerk work. There you go. Next.
We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out.
Bob Harold, you have never really lived until you have nearly died.
That's right.
Yeah.
Amen, brother.
Yep.
Yeah, and then you kind of like go to the fullest. Here we go. Here's your Zippo. I like that, man. That's right. They call this a Zippo.
Yeah.
The flamethrower tanks, whatever they were. Oh my God. We rode with those guys down in Cu Chi, 11th Armored Cav. That was our first operation out of there. The only thing I didn't like about that, we'd be on the APC going through some places. They hit these trees, little trees, they knock right over, and all the red ants would fall on the freaking thing.
Yeah.
Oh man, it was like get
Yeah.
naked time. It was
Yeah.
whoever got naked the fastest won, because they went down in your belt, in your socks, everywhere.
Yeah.
You had them on your choppers, Phil. You had them on a helicopter?
What, Zippos?
No, the red ants.
Oh no! Oh heavens, no!
Oh, okay.
No,
John,
never had to deal with that.
John, you ever deal with them?
Oh, red ants? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
They were the worst. All right, what do you got next? He was Richard Royhacker. I was a lead member of the Zippo squad. I set a few hooches ablaze. Oh, I see with those pictures there. Thank you. Just following orders.
Yeah.
That's a great experience.
The only Zippo that I'm familiar with, the OH-6, the Little Bird, the Cayuse,
Right.
load.
Yeah.
Okay. The very first one into Vietnam, a first lieutenant jumped in. They came over on carriers. And First Lieutenant S1 jumped in one, threw his briefcase up on the other seat, and he was going to fly the first OH-6 in country. So he picked it up in the back of the deck of carrier, and he was going to do a show off and dive it towards the water and then do a cyclic climb. Well, when he dove it towards the water, his briefcase fell forward. He never attached it to the seat and wedged the cyclic full forward, and he flew it right into the water.
Wow.
That was the very first OH-6 in country. Well, when Hughes Aircraft, which found out about it, when they found out about that was the first loss, and they engraved a Zippo lighter and sent it to that first lieutenant to commemorate the loss of the first Loach in Vietnam.
Wow.
It was because he was stupid and flew it into the water.
I can imagine. Yeah. Got to batten down the hatches, right?
Say again?
You got to batten down the hatches.
Yeah. Well, you got to
Right.
use a little sense and
Tie it
pass
up.
down.
Yeah, right.
Pass down all the equipment. Yeah.
Exactly. What do you got next, Matt? I tried in my most humble way to recreate some of Vietnam Zippos by painting them on stones. Oh, good for you here, man. Stephen Bradford, thank you.
Yeah, very nice.
When I die, bury me face up so the whole world can kiss my ass.
Yeah.
I remember that one. All right, the middle finger's always handy. And the campaign ribbon, commendation riddle, art carm, and the Vietnam Zippos. Very nice, Stephen.
Yep.
Thank you.
Hey, Dad, try to read that on top.
The what?
Try to read that on top.
I did read the top.
Oh.
Yeah. Next.
Okay. All right, we're gonna go to Q&A.
All right, Q&A is coming up. Get ready to answer these questions, guys.
Tell them to remind them to send in more questions and comments.
Yeah. Hey, anybody out there, you want to send a comment or a question in? They're at you could send it at the bottom of the page. Sounds like what's that guy?
I'll ask John a question. How much does the M60 weigh? I know it's heavy.
Actually weighs between 23 and 27 pounds. Okay.
And plus whatever ammo you carried.
That's what I was going to say. It depends on how much ammo you got on your side pocket that clips onto the side of the gun.
Yeah. So
normally it holds 100 rounds. Okay. But I like to overflow it.
So you and your ammo bearer, how many rounds did you take out in the field?
Well, if you have two ammo bearers with you, they each got two cans with 200 rounds in each can. That's 800 rounds right there, plus whatever I was carrying. You know?
All right. Yeah.
Did you always have a tripod on the M60?
No, I know my tripod was.
So.
Huh?
Right. I didn't think so.
No, my tripod was in barracks in Fulton. I never took it with me. The only time you use it out in the field is in your foxhole with a tripod. Okay?
Or in a bunker.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
but normally, even my bipods I took off because they get caught on the bush. They would pull out. They were annoying, so I just took them right off. I carried it like an M16.
Okay, John, I got a question from Ralph Narcisco.
Okay.
He would like you to explain how you carried that gun.
I carried it on my hip, never on my shoulder. I told you on one of your shows why I never carried it on my shoulder.
Right.
Only because you could, in the jungle, you see from the waist up. The two reasons you got your gun on your shoulder, it takes a while to load it, which jeopardizes you and your platoon. And if it's on your shoulder and the enemy's looking at your platoon, your patrol, he sees that machine gun on your shoulder. he's going to go at you first. He's going to take out the firepower first.
Yeah, that's a great point.
I never even used the strap. I didn't want no kind of interference or just anything to slow me down. That thing was ready to go in a split second.
Yeah.
Good. That's smart. Thank you, Ralph, for that question. Nikki Fratangelo Barati. This sounds like somebody's relative here.
That's my daughter.
He says, God bless you. All right. Good for you. Good. Hi, Nikki. How you doing? You know that little person. Okay, Paul Goodwin. Airborne. All right. Thank you, Paul. Next. Looking well, cousin Phil. Nigel Watton. As somebody comments Phil, he takes off, right? Phil, are you there? He's looking well. All right. Thank you, Nigel. Next one. Maybe Matt, maybe you can get Phil back on the screen.
Yeah, we're trying.
All right, no problem. What do you got? Rick Leaps. Welcome home. A job well done, Vietnam veteran. Thank you, Rick.
Thanks, Rick.
Thank you, John. Thank you, Phil. It's some kind of brotherhood we have, don't we, John?
Yeah, we sure do.
Really crazy. I can't wait to get back to Fort Bragg. We got a reunion down here in August.
All right, good. Yeah.
Never served, but my appreciation for veterans run deep. Thank you. Thank you, Ralph. Ralph Narcisco.
Yep. My cousin.
Okay, Mark IV, A6 Intruder. And what's that there for? Did I ask a question about it? Oh, here you go. Right. A6. So the A6, now it's the A10. Warthog. Okay. Thank you very much, Mark. Mark IV. Appreciate that. Boy, look, we got a bunch of smart people out there. Ralph Narcisco, 73rd Surveillance Aviation Company. They flew the OV-1 Mohawk. I'll wait for Phil to get back in here and tell him. Let me write that down in case we don't get that back. OV-1-10, right?
OV-1-Mohawk. 1-1 Mohawk.
One. Okay. I'm glad I.
Sorry, guys. Big thumbs.
Yeah, look at
big thumbs.
What's the OV-1-1 Mohawk?
OV-1 Mohawk. Twin turbine, prop driven. We have a mature audience here, right?
Yes.
The Army flew the Mohawks. The Air Force didn't fly the Mohawk because with those three pieces of the tail, only Army pilots can handle three pieces of the tail that close together.
Okay. Thank you very much. Next question.
No problem. That's why you have me here, right? You need that.
We need the facts. You're right.
You need that information. That's right.
Got to fill in the blanks.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Ralph. Appreciate that. Next one. You guys are too much. Jumpers.
Sorry.
James Boyle. Thank you, Phil. Thank you, James. All the way. James, who you served with and when? Give us some background. Thank you very much. Okay, next. Nikki again. Nikki Fratangelo Barati. Phil, was your plane ever shut out? No.
Yeah. As the Bear Catholic, the bad guys, as we understood it, got a cash reward for shooting down any American helicopter, even if it was an unarmed Dustoff. They also got to wear a medal for shooting down an American helicopter. I don't think there's any helicopters in Vietnam that didn't have bullet holes in them. And sometimes they missed at night. You'd see the tracers go flying by. As it turned out, 40% of our Dustoff missions were at night. And of course, you're flying with your position lights on and your rotating beacon because you don't want to have a midair with another aircraft. But usually there weren't very many helicopters flying at night in Vietnam.
Hey, Phil, I got a question for you.
Go ahead.
Remember Puff? Puff the Magic Dragon, Puff?
Right.
Okay. What kind of an aircraft was that?
That was a C-47.
Oh, was it? Yeah.
Yeah, C-47, an old World War II plane.
Okay.
Yeah. Gosh, just like the same plane that you saw in the Berlin airlift. But yeah, that was an Air Force C-47, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Somebody can correct me.
No, you got it. It's the general information. There were over 12,000 helicopters shot down in the Vietnam War.
Wow.
12,000.
That seems a little high, Ronnie.
Yeah. Well, so am I.
Well, okay, there you go.
Not really. I think no. I'm gonna look that up. 12,000, I think.
I think that's a little high, but I've seen
Well,
different
okay.
numbers.
Maybe
Yeah.
not. Maybe not crashed and died, but
Well, yeah, but the numbers that I have seen is probably 12,000 helicopters served in Vietnam, and about half didn't come back. They either crashed or were shot down.
oh,
I
I
have
see.
a-
Okay,
I have a good friend of mine who's one of my platoon members. His name was Corky Smith. He went he's after he left our platoon, he took a flight and he was a chopper pilot and he got shot down and he was lost for a month. Okay, and actually he became the personal pilot for Richard Nixon when he got out of the service.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, 1 second, Zach. Google how many helicopters were down in the Vietnam, shot down in the Vietnam War. Put your light in there. Okay.
A number that I heard, which was easy to remember, was 3,400 or 4,321
Go way backwards. I see.
helicopters lost. Yeah, 4,321.
Okay, we're gonna have Zach look that up. Zach's on our research staff.
Yeah, and again, it's going to depend on your source.
Yes.
It's going to vary a little bit.
Just a Google search. According to VietnamWar50.com, so it's probably not that reliable. It says 11,800.
11,800. Google search.
Okay, that's what served.
Oh no, he said shot down.
Really? What's the source?
Shot down or crashed.
What's the source?
The source?
VietnamWar50.com, not very reliable.
Vietnam War 50 year. Vietnam War 50. That's the organization.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
we'll get
I
that
say that's a lot higher than what I ever heard, but yeah.
Yeah, we'll get it straightened out. No problem.
Okay.
It's interesting that so many helicopters got shot down. How many pilots were lost? There must have been 5,000 pilots lost.
I'll give you the answer there. One out of every 12 and a half names on the wall in DC is either a helicopter pilot or crewman.
Really?
Don't know.
Yep. 4,450, give or take, 4,450 pilots and crewmen.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's one about every 12 and a half names on the wall.
John, your first combat assault, you were scared, right?
Oh yeah. Especially when you're recon going in first.
Yeah.
You got to secure the area. Oh man. Oh yeah.
Yeah, like those pictures.
Scared on everyone. We were scared on everyone, but the first one we didn't
exactly
know.
Right.
We were green. We didn't know what to expect. And I tell you what, that when we reached retreat top level, the gunners started giving grazing fire, which we didn't know. I didn't know because I was green, me and my buddy, and we didn't know that they were giving us protection fire. So when we land, you know what I mean. We thought we had incoming. Right. I put my leg right in real fast, ready to cock that gun, ready to go, man. But it was they said, "Whoa, hold on, it's it's us." They were shooting.
Yeah, I guess you had to learn a lot of stuff very fast.
Oh yeah.
Okay, what else we got here? Any more? We're coming down to the end soon. What does it feel like? What being shot feel like? Yeah, and what ultimately led to writing your book from Gianna?
Yeah, I wasn't going to bring it up. Yeah, Nikki, I was wounded in the arm one night, picking up 3 really badly wounded 101st Airborne troops, and that was the bad news. The good news was that it severed a nerve in my arm, so it was never painful. But I was flying the aircraft, and we almost we came extremely close to crashing. By the time my co-pilot got on the controls, froze on the controls, and then I got back on the controls with no feeling in my hand. So it could be an interesting experience. But I knew we were all going to die because we almost crashed, literally.
Wow.
So yeah.
All right, John.
And that was just one bullet. One bullet almost brought us down.
That was just. You want me to answer that too?
Please.
Yeah. All right. Well, what it feels like to being shot is like somebody hit you with a 2x4 as hard as they can swing it.
Yeah.
And it burns. It gets numb. And it said, and what ultimately led you to writing of your book? My book, The Last Goodbye. Okay. Ultimately writing the book was because of my cousin and my friends dying and getting killed. That's why I wanted them to be remembered. So I wrote the book, The Last Goodbye.
The
But
first
getting
part.
shot, it's no fun. I mean, it knocks you right down. I went right down.
Yeah.
Yep.
The first part of this being shot at, we were in Cu-Chi on this trail, and we started to take some stuff from the point, and we started to run back up the trail. And there's two sounds you hear. There's only one sound you hear. It's the one that misses. Phew, 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 and they're whizzing by. You'd be surprised how fast you could run in a low crawl position. Oh my God. That was like the crazy. We had to go out and pick up the bodies from a chopper that went down outside of Cu-Chi. We did our first 2 weeks there. It was crazy. That was totally nuts.
Yep.
And
you can't unsee stuff like that either.
Yeah, and Nikki, I wrote a book too. It's called Phil has a couple of books. We got the book library here loaded up.
Yeah.
I just did mine as a dedication to 13 guys who got killed and 22 wounded from our own friendly fire incident in March 26, 1968. 9 mortar rounds fell short and decimated our company. So that's
Wow.
what I wrote mine. Okay, next, what do you got? Ralph Francisco, I came on late. Phil, could you tell me where in Nam you served and what position?
Well, I was a warrant officer Dustoff pilot, Huey pilot, and as I mentioned earlier, we were the northernmost Dustoff unit in Vietnam. We had everything from the DMZ down to Hue and everything from the South China Sea to Laos, which I never went into at 10 o'clock at night on October 13th.
You never did that, right?
We weren't allowed to be there.
That's right.
Nope. Weren't allowed to be there.
I totally understand. I saw that marker, the little red line. It says this is New Jersey, and that's Cambodia.
Yeah. Well, one of my medics said there was no billboard that said "Welcome to Laos," so we just went to the coordinates they gave us, and there they were.
I got you, brother. Thank you. Okay.
Yeah, I think it was real close. I think it was real close to Laos.
Hey Phil.
Yeah.
Did that gunshot wound end your pilot career?
No, luckily it did not. The nerve was repaired, but it didn't take. But I still have grip. I can still grip the control. And I'm trying to get Ronnie to come to our gathering the second weekend of August.
John, you should go. John, you come with me.
Yeah, we're building the only Huey museum in the world, the National American Huey History Museum. And I still get to fly Vietnam Hueys today. Yeah.
Where is it at?
Kokomo, Indiana.
That's just north of Kokomo, Indiana.
Okay.
Yeah, and right across from Grissom Air Force Base, or now Air Reserve Base. The museum is under construction, but we'll still have the gathering there. We still do a reenactment with the blues, and we give membership flights. You can still take a flight on a Vietnam Huey.
I'm ready.
Wow.
Yeah.
John, you want to go?
I can't. I won't be able to, man.
That's
If
no
it was New York,
excuse.
I'd be able to go, but I can't.
I'll write your note. I'll write your doctor's note. Dr. Ron. John was sick today.
Maybe you could virtual me or something on your
There you go. Yeah, well, you got it. John, you said in your book, The Last Goodbye, I believe that you were a gunner on a Jeep with a 50 caliber. Can you tell us some experiences on that?
Yeah, I was a gunner on a Jeep. We had 5 Jeeps assigned to us when we went on the road, or if we had an outpost convoy. But it wasn't a 50 cal. It was a 60.
Okay.
You can't use the 50 cals on the Jeep. First of all,
No.
the mount ain't strong enough, and you want to be able to take that gun off real fast in case you get an attack, and you got to evacuate your Jeep real fast.
I know it's an old weapon, but did they use any 30 cals over there?
I never seen one, to tell you the truth.
No, I just wondered because I know they had them in World War II in Korea, so I figured maybe they moved it up. Okay. Next question. Nikki Fratangelo Barati. They were about 11,835 helicopters that served in Vietnam, showing that 5,600 were losses.
Yeah, that's a lot closer to the numbers I've heard.
Maybe the 12,000 I had was total confused.
Yeah.
Shot down in that total.
Yeah. And the number of 3,000 or 4,321 was Huey's.
Yes. Wow.
Yeah.
So not many Chinooks shot down.
Couldn't tell you, but those are pretty well protected.
Really?
They're not a cheap helicopter.
Okay.
I flew on
Okay.
them once. One time I flew on one. Chinook.
Yeah.
What else we got here coming up? Matt, Zach, anything else? That's it.
I think so.
All right, gentlemen. Hopefully, maybe this will be some questions and answers. Let's go to the. That's it. I said we got this. That's it. So, any questions yet, Matt, coming up?
No, that should be it.
That's about it, brothers. Thank you very much, John. Phil, talk to you soon. Phil, I'm coming out there. I'm gonna grab John and make him play hooky to come out.
Yeah. All right.
And I'll
right.
talk to you.
Yeah. Give John my contact info.
Yes, I was going to say that, and I'll give you mine. Yes.
Okay, and we'll go from there. Thank you, brothers. Take
All right.
care.
God bless you.
All right, gentlemen.
God
All
bless
right.
you. Welcome home.
Take care.
Welcome home. Right.
You too.